This is something you've all been eagerly requesting for a while. It took some time, but I finally gathered 3 stories centered around school lockdowns. It was a typical, uneventful day in calculus class, Friday, 7th period, so we were almost at the end of the week, with spring break just around the corner. Everyone was a little restless. Fortunately, we didn't have a test, unlike some of my friends in other classes, so our laid-back teacher decided to start a game on Sporkle. We were doing a brand logo quiz when it happened. Right after my friend answered Adidas, the dean's voice came over the loudspeaker, sounding unusually anxious as he informed all the teachers that this was not a drill and to initiate a lockdown. I felt chills immediately, and our normally calm teacher suddenly seemed frantic. He quickly turned off the lights and guided us to the back corner of the room. We all sat there in silence, waiting. After a few minutes, the usual buzzing noise from the control panel stopped, signaling the power had been cut. We exchanged uneasy looks, realizing this was likely serious. A few moments later, we heard a man yelling in the hallway. His voice grew louder, and we could hear him banging on the lockers, shouting, "I'll kill all of you!" The fear was tangible as 2 girls started to cry, and our teacher gestured for us to stay silent. The shouting and banging intensified as he moved to our door, and a girl let out a scream. It felt like he'd never leave, but after an agonizing wait, the noise faded as he continued down the hall. About 10 minutes later, though it felt much longer, the dean's voice returned to explain what happened. Apparently, a disturbed individual had entered the school and assaulted the front desk receptionist. The receptionist fled, and it wasn't clear if the man was armed. At the time, our school didn't have cameras or security, so an incident like this was possible. The dean asked teachers to resume class with the doors locked. Later, we heard a rumor that a night janitor found the man sleeping in a storage closet. Allegedly, he had a .44 Magnum in his pocket. Before the police could arrive, he disappeared, and none of us know to this day if he was ever found. I hope he's getting the help he needs. At my school, lunch was divided into 2 periods. 6th graders and some 7th graders ate first, while the rest of the 7th and all 8th graders ate second. The lockdown happened on an overcast, rainy day in early October during the first lunch. We suddenly heard 4 loud booms, which I thought was thunder, and kids around me started screaming. Campus security rushed in, instructing everyone to go to the multi-purpose room. Kids who were in line to buy lunch had to throw it away and follow. My friends and I went inside, along with a big crowd, confused about what was happening. Our multi-purpose room has a glass wall at the back, but security started covering it with curtains, and adults stood by every exit. My friend Eric asked an adult what was going on, and when he came back, he explained that a man who lived in one of the houses near the school was making threats. This man, reportedly mentally unstable, had barricaded himself in his house and was threatening to kill the police if they tried to evict him. He'd been seen near the school watching kids, which made people nervous. Eric also learned the man was a registered sex offender. We stayed in the multi-purpose room for 2 hours, then were escorted back to class. Later, my friend Brandy told me the same man lived next door to her, and that last Halloween, she saw him writing, "Don't come here or I'll kill you," in his own blood on his window. Initially, everyone assumed it was just Halloween decor, but after the lockdown, we realized he was genuinely disturbed. I'm 22 and recently got a job as a computer intern at my old high school, working in a small office in the basement with 2 others, Dave and Gary. Our office is actually quite nice, with desks, mini fridges, a flat-screen TV, and air conditioning, luxuries the rest of the school doesn't have. I got this job because my old computer teachers, whom I consider friends, recommended me. Everything was going well until a few weeks ago. During lunch one day, I got a call from the front office saying the school was on lockdown due to a possible intruder. I turned off the lights in our office, though it didn't have a door, just an open entryway, and the basement door had no lock. I texted Dave and Gary, but neither responded. With nothing else to do, I waited in the dark, playing games on my phone for around 20 minutes, waiting for an update. Then, the basement door opened with a creak. I sat up, wondering if it was Dave or Gary, but instead, footsteps approached the office. I hid under my desk, trying to remain as silent as possible. Suddenly, my phone dinged from a new message. My heart pounded as footsteps came closer. I stayed hidden until someone grabbed my arm. It was a man in a red plaid shirt, jeans, and a dark cap. He whispered that he was just hiding with me and asked if there was an exit nearby. I pointed in the direction, then asked who he was. He said he was there to pick up his son and had been told to hide by a teacher. When I looked at my phone, I saw the message from Dave. "Dude, it's crazy up here. Some guy with a gun shot Mr. Buckley. He's wearing a red shirt and hat. Whatever you do, stay in the basement." I realized then who I was really with. I looked up in horror, and he seemed to catch on. I bolted for the stairs, hearing a gunshot that thankfully missed. I made it upstairs, where the police were waiting, and caught him as he tried to escape. Fortunately, Mr. Buckley survived, though the reason behind the shooter's actions remains a mystery. The sound of that gunshot still haunts me.